take down Dignitas, particularly if they play their A game. It's really difficult because it's all about who shows up where. But we're into the pistols.
Our partners at LootBet agree with you. I believe the odds was 1.7 to 2 point something or other. My memory's not the best, so shout out to LootBet, our betting partners. They agree with you, Scriv, and I guess I am just a fanboy through and through, although I'll never admit it. Allegedly. Flint looking for the opening pick towards B. Halzerk, while his mission towards mid is done with that dink, he'll fall back, not willing to stick around and risk falling. Freiburg, get right towards this B site. The 1-2 that kind of locked it down yesterday. Tasked to do so again. And it's just FORZE seemingly going to throw some contact in towards A. Committing this player out of halls with extra power kind of being this thorn in the side towards mid. Going to be the distraction. And then the blunt of the hit will be coming towards A. And if he can drop FORZE, that would be unreal. The kit and double flash. He's going to go into CT, and it's going to allow El Mazer work. They may elect to just pop on A unless Freiburg gets some beautiful timing. The gush through the wall for 3. Are you kidding, Scriv?
Absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. FORZE off to a flying start here. Exist holding it down in pit is going to have to go huge. Also, can't help him out. Exist kind of the only hope they have, and only good for one. FORZE walking all over them on the A-bomb site. So clean. Get right, looks the wrong way at the wrong time, and he will drop. So nothing too exciting there. Just FORZE walking in, hitting their shots, closing the gap. And Dignitas, once again, starting a little flat-footed into the series.
Yeah, I mean, this could just be the effect of FORZE playing CS all day, huh? They've already come off playing a tier 1, I believe, top 10 team. I think Complexity is literally 10th. So yeah, you're going to be a little warmed up in comparison to the Dignitas boys, Scriv, who probably just got a scrim in and some deathmatch. So there's a difference between playing officials and just warming up. That is for sure. It's a different level of warm. And FORZE looking to take this one back. Dignitas have had some successful ecos in the past. This one's going to have to be quite punchy. And already FaZe Crack has jumped out. Halzerk gets found. FORZE full blind. And yeah, that is the round. The rest of the Dignitas members may play for exits or try to save. Exists Deagle. Crispier than I remember, but that's fine by me.
Yeah, fairly conventional start to this game so far, right? FORZE, like you say, warm. This is usually where teams would make mistakes, is in these types of rounds. You know, your pistol's a bit messy. Your subsequent fend off of the force buy is a bit messy, but I mean, it's not controversial to say that Complexity are probably a harder team to deal with those opening rounds against. So yeah, it's looking good so far from FORZE. No real issues. Tiny bit of damage. Dignitas making the best of a bad situation, saving what they have into the next round. It all kind of makes sense so far. First rifle round is where we truly get a better picture. I would imagine this is indeed the opening into the bomb site, and it's fairly simple stuff. Mac 10 leading the way. Flash blinds up both of them, which, to be fair, pretty nasty flash. But other than that, nothing too spicy. Should be able to survive here and once again fend off the half force buy, if that makes sense. You know, the saved weaponry from the previous round. But just conventional, albeit boring, but a safe start from FORZE.
Yeah, safe across the board. FaZe Crack jumps out. Absolutely ruined. The Deagle from Forreston pick and find success.
Oh.
He'll double. Nearly gets the three-pointer, and Jerry will chase down Exist. It's painfully close. The spray is wild, and Freiburg can do this, but no. Flint gets the reload and styles on him. Damage may be dealt. AK's picked up. I think they lose one AK and a couple SMGs. That's fine. But you really had to feel for a moment there that was going to be a clip from Forrest in the pit with a Deagle.
More damage, though. Bit more competition. Keeping that economy modest, always important. Particularly coming into your first rifle round. Halzerk on the AWP. Again, we see a sacrifice of the head armor, sacrifice of utility. but he's on it. That's what they want as soon as possible. He has it in hand. Great little flash comes through to force him off the angle. He's still not all that scared, but keeping them distracted over at B. Meanwhile, the A-bomb site looks like a site of choice here. Tiny bits of chip damage done. Really, really quick stuff from FORZE. Not onto the bomb site itself, but in terms of taking this brackets control, they're there very fast. And Dignitas are prepared. I think this is about to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, that's the leaving Halzerk this time around towards B, bringing Get Right over. It's a different look from Dignitas. I have a feeling they switch things up depending on the day and depending on the finals. Scores the first room balcony. He'll fall in a small pit with the help of Get Right. It's kills galore. Flint's on 9 HP. They're stuck behind smokes, but they're peeking into him. They're giving FORZE chance. They're giving them room. Exits through the halls. Jerry to find their flanker and Rotator and Halzerk. And as it's all silent with the bomb on the floor, there's 30 seconds remaining. Jerry's flank is pivotal. He'll spot it out, take the headshot like a champ, and it's Freiburg to isolate a 1v1 against the Opera of Exapower. This could get weird. 20 seconds. As Freiburg dance, he'll take the peek. Exapower has to repeat, and he hits the headshot. What? That's so Exapower. I don't know why I'm surprised.
He has been fragging like a madman so far today. I've seen a key clutch from him on Mirage, right? I think there was a clip that went round. So he's on it. He's on it. We talk about Warm. He is kind of on fire a little. Perhaps smoldering with a break in between. However, coming alive again. For FORZE. And we'll see a half buy coming through. Dignitas not off to a very strong start here. FORZE feeling confident, looking confident, playing to a really good level right now. Oh, Peak's coming in. Exapower not quite fast enough on that one. Does get the banger though. And Freiburg's left on half HP off the back of it. Surely dead here. He is indeed. A nice clean opener coming in once again. It looks like the B bomb site going to be that first port of call. Although the bomb not quite moving over just yet, so FORZE definitely taking their time despite a really quick, really easy opener for them. Oh, Halzerk. He wants it. Eric's got the flash. Could be big, but I have a feeling he walks around the corner and gets banged. Yeah, they kind of know that. They're just going to smoke it off. Meanwhile, over on A, not looking great. Exist does go 1-for-1. Key fight to be winning. Exist eventually goes down. Get Right, the only one left. So, no crazy shenanigans. There will be a tiny bit of damage and stats at the end of the day for Richard, but nothing more. As FORZE get their 5th.
Good timeout here from Dignitas. Whether that been for Flair or whoever may have called that. It is the time to take a moment. It's not your map pick, sure, but you're on the CT side giving FORZE T rounds. You're going to need some bounce back. You're going to need to put some hop in your step. And you're pausing when you're able to get a buy-in. That's ideal. We could see the double op broken out here. Dignitas didn't have to break it out last time we saw them in Inferno. But when you're down like this, you've tried a couple different setups. You've tried Halzerk alone towards B. Maybe it is just time. I'm not sure if that's what Freiburg's considering. And it is just going to be the single one on Halzerk. They could go back to Halzerk alone on Banana. It's been pressured by FORZE, but not as heavily as I thought it would be. They're really focusing that Dignitas aggression on brackets and really phasing them back at a site and just leaving them with no utility, Scriv.
Media start. Nade damage again, all to speak of. I'm sure Dignitas are happy to come away alive at the very least. FORZE dominant, bullying them out of Banana. Great turnarounds from Facecrack. He does get traded. Could have been a lot worse. Of course, that 1-for-1 trade is going to give an awful lot of control. You can see Freiburg was there early. He'd started to preemptively rotate back to A, as CTs normally do. But then with the kill coming in, he now has to move back to B. So your A bomb site is vulnerable. And we'll see whether FORZE decide to attack it. They're still sticking around on B, but I think with that frag coming in and just wasting a bit more time, baiting out some more utility and having very, very faint presence here on B. I think they know that they are weakening up A at the same time. But Freiburg, he's like, they've not made any noise for a while. Do I stick around? Do I rotate? Do I sit on Speedway? What do I do? The mind games here from FORZE are great.
Plus, look across the map. They just smoked Arch not too long ago. Like, Freiburg doesn't know where to go. FORZE are quiet. There's no information gathering at all from Dignitas. And here we go. The straight up hit. Exist is blind. There's fire in front of him, but fire in front of FORZE in return. As this will tuck back into quad, he'll allow his teammate to take contact on the edge of the smoke. Freiburg will come through on Exist, but they need to get into sight. Exist first fight won't go his way. Freiburg's there, but he has to live at this point. The retake is what he's living for. Maybe one more? Yes. He'll control the spray. And with Jerry and Exapower needing a pick, it's Exapower to go for it. He'll push forward into the post of op of Hellzerk here.
Oh, misses his opportunity. Creeping in, so dangerous. Yeah, I think he knew it, but someone's got to do something, right? Jerry's low HP. They had a small window of opportunity. It's missed. Freiburg will drop Jerry, gets his 3k, gets his huge impact frags, but they don't have time.
No kit.
Oh my god. No way. No way.
That's unreal. So you notice, notice how FORZE and Freiburg both swung him?
Yeah.
Hellzerk was too far away to get in the bomb. One of them had to get on the bomb. Yeah. So just a miscomm, I think. Just a lack of a count on the bomb. And that is so painful because that was Dignitas' first round with 3 alive. Instead, it's going to put winner's money in FORZE's pockets. Even though they lose 5, they still get that 3450, I think it is, for winning at 3200, sorry. Money.
Funny. God damn, dude, that was kind of painful in the end. Oof. Exapower trying to flick up, not going to happen for him. Balls are off to a flying start, and this is exactly what we were talking about, man. The matchup on the day, although I love this. Get right, getting aggressive. Just go down to the nade again. It's only the 1-for-1 trade. They can't catch a break. They're the ones to make the first move, but they are always losing the early fights in the end. Exist with a great angle, however. Smoke comes in, nice and safe. Follow-up nade. Really well played from him, and he's not dropped back too far. It's not like he's given away control of brackets or long.
Yep.
He's just moved slightly, so that molly doesn't affect him. Doesn't even do any damage. That's a perfect frag.
That is one thing that I picked up on Dignitas and their bracket holes was Exist was a key piece towards Arch. Always baiting good utility, using his effectively, living. He might not always get the kills, but he does here. But he just lives, and that's what's really important in an Arch player that Exist has put forward. Hasn't made the difference here as FORZE are looking for a 7th. And execute on the solo B player. It's a hard call. And Freiburg has found a gap in the smoke, but this has to be expected from FORZE. Freiburg's done it before. Bomb drop, the flick from Freiburg. Exapower lucky to follow the tracers, but he's lost his teammates. And with 25 seconds and 10 HP, the moment he taps this bomb, his life's in jeopardy. And here they come. Hold on. They're even going to toss a flash. Don't give him a chance, and they won't. Exist with his second. Dignitas not making a mistake this time. On the board, 3 alive. And this time they get away with the prized AKs.
They're finally able to pick one up. A decent enough result in the end that they can buy comfortably here, so it could be the chance for them to pull things back. Of course, getting here a little fast. Those early rounds have gone pretty speedily. Hellcase, 2 codes for you guys, as I'm sure you know by now, but what better time in between this exciting series to get some exciting cases unwrapped. Malta V 15, get yourself a bit of extra cash and a 15% refill bonus. Banner down below takes you directly towards their website. Hellzerk getting flashed in. Nothing shows for him though, so able to drop back pretty safely. Again, these early exchanges, if Dignitas are able to nullify them at the very least, maybe even come out on top of them, it's a really good result for them. And I think that's what's changed in the recent rounds, to be honest, Keith, right? The earlier ones that we saw from FORZE, particularly when the rifles came out, were like FORZE opening up comfortably and able to work with that man advantage. Recently, we've had Dignitas either surviving, or we've had them, at the very least, being the ones finding the opening frags. Rushing towards A, though. Halzerk with a great shot. What
they don't know.
happened here? Forrest is on high. Face Crack's down low. That's such a weird exchange. Face Crack's not even needed, though, as they will indeed open up onto the A-bomb site. Halzerk, the next to fall. Exist over at long goes down. Force have just cracked open a 4-man defense, and they have 3 players left. And Get Right doesn't spot the player at porch. He does now with the wide swing, but Get Right being kept at bay here has to smoke himself out. Where do I go? Smoke comes in at Moto. He can't really do anything. So the retake probably not going to happen here, and the save the best option.
That was such a wild series of events. Forrest eats the flash, and I believe that was Face Crack who jumped out. Equally as blind. In small pit, they had no clue. Forrest couldn't jump down and challenge him. Ends up dying to the op on porch, I believe, if not the AK and Halls. And what an interesting series of events. That's just Forrest in a nutshell. Able to sneak out right in front of your face. No trades for Dig. With Get Right saving the AK, he can drop the op to Halzerk, which is most certainly, in my mind, going to be the play. And maybe Halzerk can drop, for example, Exist, so he can get a kit and full utility. Great, again, great time for a pause from Dignitas. I hope this time it has some effect, but at least they're pausing at the right moment, Scriv, which is better than some teams who just, when they need a pause, they don't take it. They just run it out.
Absolutely. I mean, this is kind of part of the issue, right? This is the pick of FORZE. We expect them to take it over the line. I think both of us have given that storyline cleanly, and it's not crazy to say that. We kind of expect them to be better on the T side of things. That's normally where they have a bit more prominence, that explosive kind of T side. It's not a massive amount, but still, they are better on the T side. However, this has been fairly decisive. The pistol does come into play here, but even with the rifles and the fact that Dignitas get 1 and immediately FORZE are able to come back, it's not even 2 or 3, which when you're at this kind of level and when you are wanting to keep things competitive, you need to be getting bursts of rounds, not just flukes, as it were, not just one rarely. So a key time to take a pause, I think, and very respectful for them to do so. The last one worked out for a round, so why not go for it again and hopefully turn this round that they see themselves winning into the 2 or 3 that we need.
Well, they do end up getting that op out. Utility around it exists in the kit. And back to B to punish the solo B play. If there's no aggression towards Banana, Get Right's typically alone, and this time they'll straight up just throw a smoke, CT, throw a flash, and it's the most simple execute you'll ever see. Jerry in towards construction. If Halzerk misses his shot there, there's not even a retake attempt, Scriv.
Exit power in a pretty good angle, meanwhile. Spot out a boost attempt. And whoa, to spot Forrest in a second. Yeah, caught out in the open. The molly pushes them away from Nubox, but Exit power just not missing. Oh my goodness. That is insane. Again, another big round. He has been doing it all day long, folks. 3 bullets, 3 kills. So well played. Bit of time in the fire. In and around the Nubox cover, and then the fountain cover. Like, it is so good to watch.
And that is just Dignitas with no real pressure towards Banana, and FORZE reading into it that this is when Get Right likes to play alone. He'll play contacty, he'll drop a smoke. As soon as someone peeks him, he'll drop his utility, maybe try to fight the solo player. And that is just a beautiful read from FORZE through and through. Told you they've watched a demo or so. Here's Scriv. And with the first towards Banana, if they continued to pressure Get Right, it would be round. But they're just going to take their time. Not wanting to rush into anything. Rushing equals mistakes. I don't know if that smoke was meant to bloom like that, but it kind of gave a perfect one-way in mid. And here we go. Get Right will be tested. A deep smoke in from CT. They haven't checked second orange yet. Who else other than Force to get a kill through a smoke? Get Right's Deagle. Hold on a minute. If he can find one more shot, up he goes. The spamming is good. Forrest. The smoke will not stop him to find 2. Not expecting X-Power to face like so. And it's Halzerk now alone around the corner. And X-Power's ready. doubles in himself. I think he ended the round. I couldn't tell with his name and everything, but was that an ace? I'm not sure.
I think he only came out with 2 in the end. Might have been 3. It is actually because of... And look, you know, each their own, and it's great advertising, I guess, but because of the like sponsor in their name,
that'll do it.
I can't see.
Yeah, can't see a thing.
Particularly long. You actually can't see how many kills.
It's like, wait, how many kills did? Like, I think I tracked 3 or 4, unless I'm losing my mind, which again happens all the time.
I think he hit 3. I'm pretty sure he hit 3.
Not bad. I mean, I'd get 4, but I'm happy he's able to pull 3 out of there, Scriv. But it's right back into the full buy. Listen, just let it happen. And Forest hauls control this time through. FORZE haven't really tested apps. They've kind of just went brackets. They've gone banana. They've sent one player to clear apps, and typically it's free. And this time they're hard clearing it. The spam through, the face onto the first. Halzer tries to escape. I think they saw him. No, they didn't. He comes back for 1. Can he double in? Through the wall. The molly means he has room to back up. And that series of events is just somewhat unfortunate for Dig that FORZE can't get the first.
Yeah. It's a really awkward angle. Like, it's so close. You have to be A, really fast, and B, the crouch peek is, I think, very smart, right? Because it means he has to react. It means he's probably not pre-firing your area. Once again, get right, left alone. Flashes himself in. Good for 1. A bit of resistance put up. Buys time for Freiburg to move in and perhaps hold the site down. Perhaps find a frag ahead of the retake. Still, though, a 3-on-3. Anyone's game. No kit for Dignitas. Cast your mind back to the round that they won. Oh, my goodness. They line up. Exit Power. It's going to go creeping in, but Halzerk ready for him this time. Exit Power, his confidence becomes his downfall. Flit's going to be smoked off. Not looking too good here. Again, no kit. If he gets decent enough timing, maybe if he drops the first defuser, causes problems. Exist has picked one up, though. And get on it. Oh, immediate headshot. That lineup is absolutely perfect. There will be a pickup from Freiburg. However, the nade goes in. Oh, Freiburg gets off it.
Yes.
No way he expects to peek. Flit has outbrained them massively. Dignitas get ripped apart in the 1-on-3, Keith. Oh, my goodness.
And he lives with the op. Like, are you kidding? Dignitas can't even catch a break to the point that he dies to the bombs. They have to spend, heaven forbid, spend some of this team money. I knew as soon as I saw this lineup, I'm like, this is round. The headshot in, the nade to take care of the other.
And the fact he doesn't swing there, like initially, he throws the nade in. Oh my god.
Unreal that he doesn't peek after the nade. The balls of steel to wait in that corner is unfathomable. That's unreal stuff from FORZE. They are on a mission on this T-side, Scriv. They're going to have 11. Just phenomenal CS they're playing right now. Dignitas, can't catch a break at times, but it's FORZE with winning rounds like that. Like, what do you say?
Yeah, it just seems individually some of their players are on another level. As you would say, my dear friend, dialed in. And I think the way Exapower's been clutching out, the way Flit clutches out, it is a perfect phrase to explain it, to be honestly. To be honestly. I don't know what. Brain just stopped working there. Boris trying to find some brains of his own. Get right. Oh, has already found 1, but he gets traded back pretty quickly there in towards the site. Lots of damage done onto Jerry, but other than that, it is looking good here for FORZE. Double digits already hit. Dignitas getting absolutely picked apart on this CT side. You can put it down to the economy slightly, but losing a 3-on-1 in that fashion as they did in the previous round, they are going to be kicking themselves. A few headies would give them some confidence back towards the end here, but FORZE not taking any chances. I don't think there's any open angles here, although Almeza, he decides to go for a swing and Freiburg will drop him. Halzerk too far away to really do anything, was hoping that Freiburg would attract more attention. Not going to be the case, and I suppose he just holds on to his dig. It's a trusty sidearm for any AWPer, I suppose. And Jerry hightails it out. He's actually all the way over on A. So he was nowhere near that bomb. He is not wanting to die. But 11 hit by FORZE already. This has been incredibly quick and incredibly dominant, and a bit of a heartbreaking half if you're a Dignitas fan, let alone player.
Yeah, heartbreaking is I would say mild, believe it or not, Scriv. Dignitas with the op in hand on Halzerk. He's gonna go for a mid pick, I think. He needs some confidence. He needs a pick. He needs something to get the team going. FORZE will push on the back of the op shot. He'll beat the alt mid player, so he has positioning. Beautiful shot from FORZE, going for two. The spray just off the mark, but backed up gorgeously from Halzerk. Like a backup orchestra. He'll just support FORZE in his endeavors. All the while exist pushy towards Halls, and who else other than X-Power to hold that? I guarantee you Exist is he's muted and he's talking to himself. Why is he holding that? I'd bet any money.
I'd hope he's muted.
Or open mic at this point, right?
Yeah. No. Definitely still doable for Dignitas, so it's not completely out of the question here, Keith. HP on Exapower. They have pretty readily on this map pulled rounds like this back. And the fact Dignitas are taking a chance on A does leave the B bomb site, well, open. Not even vulnerable, just completely open. But are they going to expect 3 players into Banana this quickly? I don't think so. The bomb will go down, sure. But Exapower, he's just facing the wrong way right now. He turns around and they're already there. He just does not expect that at all. The timing from Dignitas actually works out brilliantly. Yeah, and they've only seen one. They're like, okay, I guess one on the quick flank. That can make sense. That can happen. Now we just got to try and move forwards. But as this utility reigns in, the jig somewhat will be up. The trap sprung. Dignitas are going to have to make it work. A man advantage. Oh, first time in a long time. Almeza just in and around the pillar, able to stay alive a little while longer. That flick onto Halzerk is pretty quick, pretty insane. The fight's coming in all sides. It's Almeza's turn to have a round. As Get Right, the only one left on 12 HP, does manage to take him down. Is there enough time to get the defuse in? I think he just about does. It is going to be awfully close. But he does get it over the line. Goodness gracious me. 12 HP in it. Dignitas, though, will get their second. Oh.
This all starts with gorgeous mid-aggression. Almazer finding room in the B site to work behind this pillar. A bit of a whiff comes in the end there. But recovered by Get Right. His 10th kill. The defuse saves the squad. Any rounds they can get here, they'll take. They'll break out the double up on Get Right. He's had a rifle towards solo B this whole time. And no, this is not a replay. It's FORZE going down mid again. The kill in the dink makes this now a moment where Dignitas can capitalize. What a nade from Halzerk on the call from FORZE. The MP9 from Exist. And this is Dignitas taking it to FORZE. They've had enough. The sad thing is, where's this been?
Very true, man. The confidence does come back towards the tail end of this first half, but there is an argument to say it's too little too late. Jerry spotted. Flank is coming in eventually, right? Distracting nades and whatnot. Ooh, Freiburg. Oh, no. Oh, please win the fight. Oh, what has happened there? He
just makes himself as small as possible. Like, be as small, be as small, be as small.
Just don't die. Just don't die. He went around the corner. It's not my fault. Got a FAMAS. If I just don't die, it doesn't look as bad. Nah, it's all good in the end, though, of course. Does happen. And like I say, I think the timing was just a bit poor for him. The FAMAS not quite doing enough damage in time. But yeah, like you say, really looking good. Some proactive rounds, some confident rounds. Double up setup coming in towards the tail end. Get Right, fancying it here in the final round of the first half. FORZE, once again, down middle. And they're somewhat prepared, but not completely. I'm not sure if they want to go fully attacking towards FORZE. Jerry's around. Oh, and Jerry going to clap him. Does get traded immediately. Still a 4-on-4. If they can pick this one up, it would be great for Dignitas. Still going to need a hell of a T-half, but well, it would be a lot easier, basically. Oh, the smoke going to start to dissipate. Exist looking away. The nade does massive damage. Exist still looking away, and face crack. Perfect timing as he flies in. Will it be enough? No! Freiburg out in the open. Just holds mouse one. Mows them all down. The waterfall nullified. And Flit will be the only one left. Okay, hold on. Oh. He is left low, but 1 HP remaining for Halzerk. Able to burst him down with the Glock. And now it's all left on to Get Right.
He can do this, Flit. The timing, the elevation, the spot. He's going to grab the up and get out of here. Get Right will hear him leaving. And does Get Right give chase through CT? He's going to take his time. But the more time Get Right takes, the longer Flint will have to get a plant and go to post plant. If Flint runs through banana and goes back to A, I would just love every second of it. If he clears this, he may, but then Get Right will double back. So Flint's on the clock here. He's going back.
Yeah.
Hey. No, here's the thing. Get Right's going to wait because he thinks one of two things. He's waiting for me. He is sitting coffins. He is waiting for me to push. He's back sight. I've got him. And it just clued in that he got played. Get Right has to come all the way back, but you can't really blame Get Right. It's just Flint keeping his legs moving, and he's not going to stop. In towards Arch as he'll push. The timing is awkward. Who gets the best of it? Get Right spots him. But now the trouble is he can't shoot. He has to walk off on him, and it's free. Well handled by Get Right. Flint goes the extra mile, but it's just not enough, and did get the round they need.
Yo, what the heck, dude? Why you gotta do that? Just rude, Get Right. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. It's got to feel good, right? You get that final round on the board and a confident run of rounds at the end. The half, but those final three, decent. You know, look good, able to pull it back, and giving them a momentum that perhaps they need. We will see. Can 4 be enough? I don't know. I don't know. Time will tell, as of course we'll be getting into the second half relatively quickly. FORZE, their map pick. You do expect them to look good here, as we said earlier on. They're also a lot more prominent on that T side of things. Again, reiterating points, but it is worth noting that there are a few kind of caveats to this, maybe. But 11-4 still perhaps a bit too dominant. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's definitely not impossible.
Look at these odds. Okay, I thought those were real for a moment. Okay, we're going back up.
Okay.
That should be final. Final?
Yep.
They are live odds after all.
Yep.
So shout out to LootBet, our betting partner. Check them out in the banner below. They are heavily favoring FORZE, and rightfully so. It is their map pick. Dignitas starting to heat up. They stopped playing games and starting to get aggressive and just take the fight to FORZE. One in trouble. Fight it out. Jerry. Not in trouble, but looking for the duel against Halzert. The B250 has to be cautious. Exit power. Wanting to find some sort of head. And he cannot find it. Instead takes a bullet to his own. He's going to like to just fall on back out. But this is an aggressive pistol, to say the least, from the FORZE boys.
Absolutely. They are confident in themselves, and I suppose the pistol is a great place to throw some of that confidence around, so throw some of that weight around that they have, obviously, in the 7 rounds advantage. Great little flash coming in, not going to push off the back of it, just looking to keep them at bay at the moment. We're a minute in, and we've had a bit of damage onto Exapower. Other than that, not much. Not like the whole T-side is here. Halzert, though, ever confident on that P250. Looks solid with it. They raid boss him up quite often. Forest as well. Joining him. Exists the full sacrifice in terms of his own buy, but it pays off. It pays off. Halzert and Forest have clapped heads. They have opened up the B bomb site, seemingly, but of course now they've got control back towards A. They are going to throw FORZE for a loop. Quick flank coming in. Oh, Forest looks away at the worst time. Almeza not able to capitalize. Exapower in on the site is going to have to do all the work. I mean, he's... Yeah, this is it. This is the round, and he can't do anything. Blitz locked out. Bomb will go down. He doesn't have any info or whatever to work with, right? When they're coming at you, you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, definitely could work. But when you're moving into them, it's a hell of a lot harder. Has had a clutch already. I think he is... Oh, cashed in his clutch card. Oh, okay, does get it in the end. Bit awkward. Gets a second. Hold the phone. Let's relax here, guys. The flank coming in from the side, and there you go. Freiburg is able to finish him off. That's what they were playing for in the end. So he gets a couple... But no harm, no foul. Dignitas going to be happy to continue this string of rounds into the second half. Start off with a pretty nice pistol.
Pretty calm, pretty collected. Just took it to the A site, gotten the picks required, and swiftly move on to the next. FORZE doing what they do best and force buying right back on the CT side. Couple AKs, SMGs from Dignitas, the very typical buy. Exapower, the one who typically finds these scout kills consistently. And you don't want to be peeking that again. He's going one more time. The rule of threes. As he'll swing it alt mid, get right this time, gonna capitalize on it. He's closed the gap with that Mac 10. And FORZE now should settle into a bit more normality. As Dignitas group, and I think they're just gonna waltz this one right into B like they own it.
You have to be careful. Couple of digs in play over here. Almays are going to drop. Jerry baiting his teammate out pretty hard. Goes ahead of the smoke. Not going to have his happy moment. And like you say, they waltz into B. Nice and easy. No real resistance. Bit of damage done. But nothing to write home about. Nothing to worry about in the Dignitas camp. Flit and Face Crack just going to look to save what they have into the next round. So, Dignitas are indeed getting these nice and simple rounds. Same way FORZE were. FORZE went on a bit of a tear. I believe it was 5 rounds? 6 rounds? 6 rounds, wasn't it? Before Dignitas were able to get one back. And then immediately FORZE reset them. So, I feel they're going to have to do the same. They really are. They can't let this first rifle round slip.
Yeah, right. Gonna try to make some money. Really has no idea where anyone is, I think. He just jumped in a little pit and just did a little pivot. Did a little spin. Exist and Get Right are not gonna upgrade. It's gonna be another sort of round from them. Trying to punish FORZE, who did save a couple. We'll spread the wealth out. In theory, should be a 7th for Dignitas. That's why I say in theory, though, because it can always backfire. FORZE stacking to B, having a scout stacked on yellow corner. That's a rare-ish boost. And it won't even pay off with a tag, unfortunately, Scriv.
Ooh, you see what I see, though. They're getting giddy towards this B-bomb site. He's going to do a little bit of damage. It does seem, though, with Get Right on the other side, doing what Get Right does, you know. Making moves away from the team. They're going to join up with him and creep their way towards A. It should be all good. FORZE are sold on this fact. They are sticking to that B-bomb site like glue. They'll hear the utility coming in. Now what do we do? Right, they're turning around. They're kind of coming to the fact that they're just not moving. So yeah, Dignitas will be able to find themselves to 7th pretty easily. I guess we have full armor for Exapower, full armor for Face Crack, a smoke, 2 smokes actually. So there's little things here that FORZE can use into the next round for sure. Even Flit to a certain extent, right? You expect the AKs and whatnot. So yeah, they're just going to look to say what they have. Hope that maybe there's someone that comes their way. They're really not giving anything across. I would have even expected like Jerry to go sprinting in, Almays to go sprinting in.
Nah, man. You don't want to feed the beast of Get Right and Exist. They know the Mac 10s exist. I mean, look, you know me, Scriv. I'm always one for hunting and dropping weapons and making sure those AKs get carried. But I think in this prime example, it's just resilience. It's not wanting to feed these SMGs. And secondly, you don't want to give anything to Dig, right? You don't want them to start feeling good, start getting your kills on you, start getting a hang of things. And listen, you know me, I'm one for hunting ecos. It's what I do. It's my thing. But that time I understand and respect that heavily from FORZE.
Yeah, fair. I can get behind it. But at the same time, I don't know. Finding a frag, getting some extra cash. But like I say, there was a lot they could use into this round. No time to really talk it over. Of course, Exapower is going to shut me up with an early frag. That is definitely not how Dignitas wanted to start the first rifle round. It goes very quickly From 0 to 100, they were looking good. They were in control. FORZE giving them the false sense of security. And just like that, Exit Power, that's not a peak that you go for. You know? Oh, no one threw smoke here. Ah, boys. Oh, I'm not a fan at all. Almeza and Jerry just going to spray them down. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That seemed like a very off-the-cuff, quick decision that really did not work out. Did they even flash, or did they just sprint in? They must have done, right? FORZE was kind of late, so I guess he must have flashed.
There might have been one, but it certainly wasn't good enough.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, man. I don't want to rip into them. I feel bad, but I just think you've lost a man, and that's a very, 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 very forceful way, very desperate way of trying to come back into the round. And it's just not going to work against a team like FORZE, particularly in the first rifle round where they are going to be switched on. They are ready. And you can tell by the way that they play it super safe in the previous round, right? And then you just kind of rush into them and hope that someone stood it out in the open with a nade out, or, you know, not looking properly. Like, it's just not going to be the case.
Utility on the corner. Freiburg. Smoke misses from FORZE. I want to see Dignitas group take advantage of this. Issue is FORZE have 3 players banana. What does that mean? Someone may get flash peeked. That's a heavy consideration. Well, for now, they'll just keep 3 players here. Dignitas have found success towards B and haven't pressured brackets early. That's the tell for FORZE. No pressure brackets early. Dignitas haven't really been doing brackets pressure unless they commit there. And with no nades at all, no sound cue whatsoever towards A, they feel pretty good about keeping 3B. They're even going to get the boost in perfect time here, Scriv. And here to come the Dignitas members. Almeza doubles in with a spray from backside. It's FORZE to punish it. Can face crack on the boost, continue to shut this down. It's Jerry from the coffins. He'll put 2 into the grave, and it just get right alone. 10 seconds, smoke will fade, and not a chance. FORZE are right back where they left off.
So rough as well, man. Like, FORZE just play them so well. I think we'll see the coffin spray here. Right, so what you have in this situation is obviously they're caught off by it. There's a good flash that comes in, but they have 2 players that perfectly peek into the boost spot. Really nice. Clearly been worked on. Years of experience together come into play. Then Get Right follows Traces. He actually finds another kill. But they're way too distracted. Like, all 3 of them, I think, are way too distracted, staring at the smoke, ready and expecting the rest of the players to only be in and around that smoke. The timing is perfect on that spray, and the way that it plays in. There's so many players just dotted about from FORZE, so many different ways in which they can eliminate Dignitas from that round. And Dignitas play right into the hands. Just the tunnel vision towards that smoke coming in, unfortunately for them. And I think it's going to be enough for FORZE to perhaps take things over the line here. Obviously, the 14 should come nice and easy. We'll see. Definitely not out of the question for Dignitas, but I just feel the momentum that they have picked up where they left off. They lost the pistol, whatever, dude. And now with the rifles in play, they're straight back into normality.
Wow.
Yeah, just not a chance here. Just getting ripped apart. It's simple stuff. Nothing too flashy. The setup just strong enough, and Dignitas' utility not good enough to break them up.
Maybe this round they'll get that utility that they need. It's going to be AKs across the board. No one necessarily lagging behind on either side. A timeout for Dig, their 3rd of 4 if memory serves. And FORZE have been just playing very reactive info-based CS. No brackets pressure, no early nades. You don't hear the jump up into halls. There's no spraying into halls. All signs that there was early banana pressure. And FORZE kind of eluded and let Dig be faked into that by pulling a 3rd player there from, like, necessarily just right away. And they didn't play any pressure. They did 1 set of utility not to show too much, and just let Dig play right into their hands. And the following round, well, that was just a formality that we just witnessed. This is the round that Dignitas will be fighting for this map. Honestly, if they get up to 9, 10 rounds, those are just confidence numbers for Train. I think FORZE, though, are looking like they have this one locked and keyed, Scriv.
Certainly does seem to be that way, and they have the confidence, the momentum, and maybe the preparation in this matchup. Nice pickup coming in from FORZE, though. Just gets good timing. The nade does pretty much maximum damage to him there, but he's happy to come away with an opener. The A-bomb site now vulnerable. They will start charging in. They will find another face crack. The last line of defense, at least for now. In around cold zero box. Jerry is in kind of early. Does get a tiny bit of damage. Not a lot, though. Almeza, meanwhile, going to find Forest over at middle. Face crack standing strong as he's up. He's down. He's all around.
Are you kidding?
Absolute machine. The one-man army just does not miss. Oh, my goodness. Face crack.
That is just mind-boggling from Face Crack. Out of nowhere. 9 kills and it'll jump up to 13. What a hold from what I believe people call cold zero box. Looking like cold with that M4. What control that was. Dignitas buy up what they can, Scriv, and let me tell you, it is not enough for them to be content with. They'll do some early banana pressure. The chase down will commence. It's around the corner. Belayed out. Face crack again involved. The AK got tossed at FORZE's feet. But it doesn't matter. Bombs down. Get right's next up. The Galil in hand. 1v4. I'd like to believe Scriv. But one saving grace for Dig is Train is up next. And that is certainly a comfort zone for them. They got to 7. They started to warm up. But then so did FORZE.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I mean, the pistol, to use a word that you were using, formality, definitely comes into mind. That's the way you just have to approach it as well. Don't want to be dwelling on it too much. Don't want to be dwelling on the loss of the pistol too much. And that's exactly what happened. And they were able to play in. And I wouldn't be surprised. You know that round when we saw them just sit on B? I wouldn't be surprised if they were just talking about the next round. You know?
Oh, completely.
Rather than focusing on trying to throw themselves at like a retake that isn't going to happen. So, and it definitely paid off. They were immediately straight in there, and from there on in, didn't stop. Really,
yeah.
Well
Dignitas weren't necessarily playing scared, but they weren't playing assertive either. They weren't getting that information that I'm kind of privy to them getting, and then they typically just go for it. They didn't start to do that to the later rounds. I think they string 3 in a row in the end on CT, but that started to because it was FORZE getting aggressive. Halzerk was backing them up. They had the Halls pressure. They started trying new things. It was just too late in the half to really resurge back, even if you did win out, which is great. And then that T side, I mean, it was just FORZE all along the way after Pistol. They just immediately shut down Banana. They were reading the map well. They didn't even need to play for info. They just had all the tells of Dignitas. That just shows they watched a demo or two. I don't think Train's going to be like this, though. I think Train's going to be different. I believe the op is going to make a big difference in Halzerk on Train. He's that Z guy, the willingness to rotate for them. And I think he's going to be a little flexible as well. They're going to toss him for early picks. They're going to throw him towards B. Watch Halzerk be all over the map. And if Dignitas break out the double ops, that is what FORZE struggle against, and it may just actually happen.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a bit of a philosophy within the team that it's like, particularly after that first half, where little rough for us, guys. Let's not get too hung up on this. The next map, nice and confident. We're also pretty good at the third. It's sort of what happened yesterday, I think. They played a map that they weren't too familiar with, and then they went on the reverse sweep. So maybe that's a part of it. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt with that they've just kind of put most of their focus into the next 2 maps instead. And I hope that is what we see. But I don't know, man. It's a fairly dominant victory, considering they were decent on it yesterday. Yeah. And FORZE aren't terrible at Train.
Yeah,
so they are going to have their work cut out for sure. It does need a bit of a flip. It does need a bit of a switch going into Train.
I do want everyone to pay attention to the layers of Dignitas's T side, the willingness to play aggressive and towards ladder, in towards E-box. Just keep an eye on it, because it's something FORZE struggle with, is getting ladder control and dealing with forward CT aggression. So if Dignitas are on that side or end on it, just keep an eye on that. Now we are going to throw to a quick break. We're going to head to the station, and when we come back, we'll be on our platform, and that'll be Train.
shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
And welcome to the station platform. What is it? 2/3, 1/2, whatever the Harry Potter thing is. That is where we are, and that is exactly the map. It is train. It is dig versus FORZE. You're laughing because I should know the number of this weird train platform that's in between 2 and 3. I don't know. But the point is,
You're so far
we're on
off.
train.
You're so far off.
What is it? What actually is it though? Is it? It's, I know
9
it's like
3/4.
9 3/4. I know it was like a quarter and like a weird number. Whatever. Listen.
Oh god.
Reference game still somewhat on point, even though I didn't get the reference, but you understood it. Thank you, Scriv. I cannot be more excited for train. However, it seemed like Halzerk started to find himself with the op on the CT side. Didn't get it out as much as he perhaps would have liked. Forest was really getting into a groove. Those are two positives I took away from that map, along with the negatives. FORZE have motivation, right? They're feeling really good. If they win knife, they start CT side. That's just going to be more and more. What are your win conditions for Dig?
I feel like facilitating that up for sure. For sure. Like, we've both talked about it. Halzerk is a big part of their game. They really need him to be not only confident and, personally effective, but they need to enable him as a squad in a lot of different ways, whether that is financially, whether that is setting him up, particularly on the T side with some nice early peaks and whatnot. I do think that the CT aggression as well needs to come out a bit earlier on top of that. So the AWP obviously plays a hand in that, but yeah, they were very passive. They were very safe. They were a little nervous, even, I think, because they were under the cosh early on their CT side of Inferno. And then towards the end, those final 3 rounds, I think you mentioned it when they won a couple in a row, you were like, where has this been? So yeah. I think straight out of the gate, at least on their CT side of things, obviously we have knife rounds here to decide sides, so they're not going to get a guaranteed. It's their pick anyway, so they probably wouldn't. But all the same, when they get onto that CT side, confidence is key. I think on the T side of things, working FORZE, getting in their heads, in the same way FORZE were able to do on Inferno, get in their heads, man. Just pick up some early rounds, maybe not the pistol, but with the rifles, make sure you have your best foot forward. That's something that FORZE did really well on both sides of the map. They came straight in with the rifles, immediately got the rifle round, nice and clean, one of their better strategies. They're not pulling any punches, I think would be a good phrase from FORZE. They were giving it the whole way through.
Yeah, and I have some interesting numbers that are going to actually, Dignitas will like these numbers. FORZE fans may not. Out of the last 5 times they've played, they've lost it 4. Granted, the losses come against Crazy, Spirit, SG Pro, Endpoint, and the lone win actually only comes over to AGF. So on a bit of a downward spiral to where they just came off of wins against Smash, Sprout, OG, and Godsend. So I don't know where that version of train from FORZE went, but it hasn't been around lately, which is promising to Dig. And the stats for me that are a bit low from FORZE on this map, I'll put aside win percentage. Its pistol round win percent on this map is only 40%, and their T round win percentage is down to 47.7. Relatively low. You'd like to keep the T round win percentage around 50. You want to win half your T rounds ideally. And as well as round win percentage after receiving first death, average is 30 to 35. They're down to 28. So this is Dignitas' prime chance.
Absolutely. It is a vulnerable map for sure. Of all the ones in the pool that they play, I think definitely the best map to take them on, I would say. So we'll have to see here. FORZE picking up the knife round though, as you can tell, starting on the CT side of things. So Dignitas will indeed kind of have their work cut out a little bit. We didn't get to see as much of that FORZE CT side, so it'll be interesting. Of course, shout out to LootBet providing the odds and our primary betting partner. You can use code Malta to get yourself 10 free spins and 100 bonus euros on your first deposit. But we are into the action here. Dignitas wanting to get off to that flying start.
I'm going to come out with Forrest in a P250. We've seen this deliver before. He'll spot the player at stop sign and just elect to back on up. Not a fight he's favoring, not a fight he's feeling. It's just very safe from Dig. 1 Ivy, 1 T-Con, 2 upper B, 1 ladder. Just hanging out. Doing what they do, attempting to work a pick. This boost from Exist would clear the back red train head angle. And with that being alleviated, Watchford getting tossed to grab the bomb and then start to make a decision here. It's going to base loosely on Halzerk's success or their lack of. And they immediately drop a smoke. So I think they're going to head towards B or ladder more than likely here. I think Forrest's goal is to get one and try to live. Halzerk will commit his life.
Oh, Forrest. Creeping in. Has to be so careful here. There he is, hidden perfectly. The great off angle. Oh my goodness, to perfection. Not a barrel, not a pixel showing. That is so good from Jerry to find the first. And the P250 in hand now. Really, really good stuff. Halzerk creeping in from the backside. Not able to find the frag either. So, the pistol masters that we saw on Inferno have been eliminated pretty early on into this round. More kills coming in. Get right, the only one left on the Glock. Gets the bomb down. But not a single frag for Dignitas. What an opener from FORZE. And you mentioned, they ain't so good on those pistols. So this is somewhat worrying.
Ooh,
Wow.
worrying
They
is
are
one way to
really, like, not messing around. They pause on the defuse
Yeah.
to walk over all the bodies and recover pistols and whatnot. That's crazy.
Hey, they wanted those P250s. They knew they had a couple. That's a free $300. Whenever you can save $300, you do so. In pretty much every aspect of life. So, especially FORZE here, gotta make sure they do so. And I mean, just look at Flit's buy. 2 kills, he gets head armor, M4, smoke, flash, nade. Like, that's a 4250 purchase right there. Gorgeous. He also gets the head armor upgrade because he took no damage. That'll get the job done. And with Halzerk getting right back in, it's time to unpause and jump right back into the action. Exit power going for the Scout, MP9. I think Face Crack is at M4. So goodbye from FORZE all around. Dig going for the Force, the bomb plant, but no kills. Or excuse, yeah, no kills. So typically you'd see teams go for the Force buy here if they got 2 to 3 to 4 kills, which means they got money reward and they've kept it close. So the armor has to be bought on the Force side. But instead, Dig like their odds here. I appreciate the risk.
Yeah, definitely respectable. Whether it works out, I'm not sure whether... I feel like an extended period of time, they will be expecting it. Wow, okay. Forrest just charging in. Again, utility somewhat ineffective. It was a team flash actually blinding him up, so it seems like it's been messed up slightly there. Halzerk left with 2 HP as well. Down goes Exist. Observing on point to catch all these frags, as there are many in so many different locations. We've seen a couple come back, but the HP just is not there for Dignitas. The Force buy hasn't worked. It's an angry, aggressive kind of play, and it just gets shut down completely. Get right, going to be the only one left. 13 HP. He doesn't even have the bomb, so... what can he do here? He's crept out onto the B bomb site, and there's no one here. So he could get in behind a player, but as they move forwards and discover the bomb and kind of contain the area of focus here on the CT side, it does become a hell of a lot harder. Time goes on. They start to think maybe he's behind. Maybe we missed him and he slipped through a crack somewhere. I think they are somewhat savvy to the fact that he's on the flank.
Well, it is Get Right after all. If Get Right's alive in a 1v1, 1vx, just turn around. Because he's probably there. He's good at creeping in at the right time. Not saying it's a rule to live by, but could have saved a lot of teams a lot of headaches in the past. And Get Right will try for some kills here. He knows the round's out of touch and out of reach, but if he can even get a kill, die before time. Wish he could have got one more, I bet. 2-0 for FORZE. Pistols now for Dig. Some sprinkling of utility, I imagine, but no armor in sight. Could honestly even just be a full save if they can brute force out upper B halls. Maybe try to get a plant. That could be kind of nifty. But it is going to be 3-0 before rifles make an appearance for Dig. And that bodes well for FORZE.
Yeah, they're looking pretty hot once again. Quick start. Dignitas going to be frustrated. Two fairly decisive rounds to open up with, and they were hoping their map pick, right? They would be the ones to get off to the explosive start, but FORZE not only have denied them, but have also kind of stolen away the idea. Exapower in the face of Get Right. Easy opener coming in. Oh, Flit almost through. He bites off a bit more than he could chew there. It's a clean double, but he can't get the transfer. As we always say, any damage is good damage in a round like this, but the 2-on-4... certainly not going to be doable. Maybe Freiburg gets another catch with that dig. I just don't see it being doable. It would be absolutely crazy. But if he can find another, they can be happy. Okay, all right, here we go. Doesn't take any damage there either. Ooh, and face crack getting a little quick. This is an M4. He does find the frag. That could have gone south real fast. They're not going to be the case. However, keeping the economy modest early on. Only really Exapower's economy in a worrying place, and he buys down to an AWP, so he spends most of it. Definitely a chance for Dignitas. If they can take this first rifle round really cleanly, really decisively, then they could turn things around early.
Up for Halzer. Has the spawn to take the peek. He's going to go for it. Full commit. Good flash over. He'll get tagged. Molly's coming in. He's in some trouble. If one nade dunks in, he is gone. Oh, he's down to 6. Jerry gonna push in towards Sandwich. And if just one more nade came in, a sprinkling of damage. And there it is. Yeah, his time was numbered in there, sadly. They figure it out. Get right in ladder. That's huge. Can he double in? Yes, sir. Cracking open this A-bomb site. Whereas Op will fail, Get Right will pick up the slack. But speaking of Ops, Exapower is still alive, Scriv.
Anything is possible while this man is still up. Finds the kill onto Forest. Safety at Xbox. Get Right knows where he's at, though. Drops him pretty easily. He and Exist opening up cleanly. All going to be down to Almeza. Misses his opportunity onto Get Right, so they know where he's at, vaguely at the very least. I think they might just have done enough here. Moving back towards the B-bomb site, looking good. And Almeza doesn't really have too much of an idea. They're somewhat split. Yeah, he still thinks they're around on A. So, getting duped here. Getting bamboozled. Dignitas prime position to pick up their first round. Definitely doable. Almeza moves further and further and further away from the B-bomb site.
Yeah, creating space from Get Right and Exist. Big 3K from Get Right. Round winning, actually, I believe. Almeza, is he going to consider going for this? He seemed confused for a moment there. I think it was because multiple players were calling out where the op is. So he was looking around like, it's not beside me. Who said Sandwich? And finally gets the right call that it's E-box. He'll save this. Why? Well, Jerry and Flint are a little broke. Op gets saved. That goes to Exapower. Almeza can buy himself. Face crack the same. Exapower will drop, but everything's fine. I imagine that's what we'll see. But Dignitas on the board would have loved to keep 3 players alive themselves. They too will have a scrappy buy. This round is essentially, this next round is essentially a glued together rifle round for both teams, but one that's going to determine at least the following 2, I'd say. Because if my memory serves, both teams will be on 1 round loss.
I think that's right.
1900, right?
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, yeah. 1 round, like, bonus loss.
Yes.
Definitely spicy. Definitely spicy here. Dignitas looking good where we were kind of worrying for them. Those early rounds sort of dominant, but I mean, as we saw in the previous map, the pistol can be put in its own little box. Has an effect, but does not necessarily dictate the remainder of the half or the pacing of the half. Bit of early damage done to Flit here, but ultimately time wasting from Dignitas. Baiting out what little utility the CTs have. It is well played. And they're also kind of sending the feelers out there to be sure of the strength of the buy, whether they have bought at all. Maybe they've gone down to a half buy, but with the M4 sprays and all that kind of stuff coming in, they're fairly convinced now. Slowly but surely moving in through Ivy. The smoke's somewhat late. They will dip ahead of it. It's a nice little setup here to just give them clean Ivy control, allow them to creep into Hell and Sandwich. Really good stuff. And then they take the control of T-Con from there. Train already on this T side looking so well prepared. Still no frags. 35 seconds. Extra Power still alive on the AWP. Has been spotted, but could do a lot of damage.
Oh.
Gets the drop onto Exist. Face crack as well. A nuisance in the sidelines. It's a 4 versus 3. And Extra Power is just so fast. He is absolutely on it. Continues to frag. He is losing his teammates. Going to have to keep hitting the shots. And Halzerk showing him how it's done. Finds 2. Looking to go 1 better than his compatriot on the other side of things. Almeza denying him for now. Creeps out. Oh, and it is a hard fight, but FORZE will take him. I was going to say, surely falls here. That's the tone I was taking, but let's come close in all fairness. Dignitas, though, going to take it over the line, and they will get that second round.
What a cool little pocket strat from Dig there, right? It's designed to allow them to get out, as you said, to Ivy, get into Sandwich, control back Green, pressure in towards back calls. With everything on the line, they pull out a pocket strat that can easily be shut down by a well-held back lanes. But FORZE concede. I thought Extra Power was speedy enough on site, but Halzerk steps up when required. And this will send FORZE to pistols, to Zeus's, and this is the bounce back Dig needed. Gonna be staring down the barrel of 3. 4 will be fought for. But that is definitely a boost to their confidence. Whenever a set pocket strat works out, the type of strat that you can use once a game, it always feels good.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it? Because it's not like a full-on... It's like a half strat almost. Or maybe the execute in a sense. Like, it's designed to capture a small section, like a slice of train.
Yeah.
And then from there, the rest is up to them. It's kind of fluid. It's not like rigid. It's not like, okay, this hasn't worked, so therefore the whole thing doesn't work. They set themselves up for the rest of the round. It's kind of nice. It is kind of nice. And the sort of innovation that I think they've been working on. And it is really cool to see it paying off for them. Into another rifle round, though. Dignitas cleanly able to get their 3rd on the board, even things up early on. Jerry taking another nasty off angle. It was FORZE last time in the pistol that fell flat to him. And it did end up costing them the pistol, you have to admit. This time around, meanwhile, they seem a little more savvy to the fight. Perhaps heard him running in here. Jerry sticking around. He's calling on the help of Almeza as well. Both teams need to be so careful. It is such a key area, such a key spot to lose control of. At the moment, ooh, the T's think they have it. Exist is not quite sold. Almeza is still around and obviously makes sound there. Has to drop away. Oh, dink for dink. Get right, going to come out on top of that. Not sure if I'm a massive fan of Facecrack just walking in when they knew full well, by the way he was moving there, that they could have lost Pop Dog control.
Get right. Big kill, 9 HP, Extra Power. Rare miss shot on what looked like an easy peasy one on a Halzerk. And Extra Power knows he has to get a little wild here. Forced into a weird spot. He's gonna come through the smoke. It's just a matter of time. He's playing the long game. Flint on sight. As the smoke will fade back green. He's gonna reposition. Extra Power looking for this Dignitas, this back green split again. This time Freiburg will pull that man advantage even further forward. Halzerk back sight. Can he help out? Yes, sir. One more on site. It's Halzerk all day. And it's Almeza alone in back lanes, but no time to plant. Dig have mismanaged the time. They get the kills. Everyone other than Almeza. And maybe I might even be proven wrong. I won't. But Dignitas, they get to the site, they get the kills required, but FORZE rotate and swarm the site, and Dig just lose track of time.
Unfortunate, massively unfortunate, right? In all the chaos of the bomb just is left in no man's land. And what can you do? You can't really turn around in that situation and throw it away. Tough, definitely tough. Pause being taken, and of course, our lovely friends over at Hellcase have got those 2 codes for you that you just see up on your screen. Malta V15. Get yourself a bit of extra cash. 15% bonus, refill bonus, I should say. Said that yesterday. Bonus refill bonus. I don't know. Just like the word bonus. What can I say? It rolls off. It sounds nice. But they are one of the better sites out there, if not the best, I think, in terms of case rolling and everything. They've got the esports competition section. I suppose you've had a look and whatnot. I've not been on the site, I must admit. But I know for a fact that they've got that competition section. You've told me all about it and how cool their website actually is. So about it down below, takes you directly there, man, and give it a go. You know, it's a much more clean and refined system, I think, for spinning cases. Either way, quick play coming in from Dignitas here. Amazing! I thought he was going to be caught off guard, but not the case. The Org is absolutely huge in his hands. He will be traded out, but surely that's enough damage. Surely now with the rotations coming in thick and fast, they've done enough. But I mean, there's no one else here, Keith. The B-bomb site, because it's so early, there was only one player, and that's really going to affect things.
Get-Right has to make a play, and he knows this. He's pushed forward at back red. It's either control or a play from Get-Right at this point, and he needs a bit of both. The flank is being covered. He has support from that player back pop to peek with him. That is Exist. But Get-Right is the man. He's the pivot player from left to right. Can't go down without a kill. Exist will help cover, not with a Zeus, but with an AK. And with his flash, it's going to signal that FORZE are on the way. Kid in hand of Exapower. The flank is about to be held by Forest. Again, Get-Right. Pressure on his shoulders. Gets hard cleared. Smoke on the bomb. Forest falls. Exist. He'll tuck into the smoke. And he finds the diffuser. That'll do it. What a play from Exist. He'll bail the squad out right when they need it.
Back-to-back rounds that come all the way down to the wire. This is the excitement that we were in for. And of course, what better place in the grand finals? Dignitas and FORZE going tit for tat. Time runs out in both those rounds in different ways, you know, regular time and bomb time. Despite the heroics, despite the double spray down. And man, it is so... One missed bullet there, I think. There was like a half a second after he got the frag to him being traded. But yeah, I think if he misses a bullet, doesn't quite find the kill, it's over. But he gets it in time. Perfectly played, like you say. Really, really well done, and I'm excited to see that this back and forth is coming in. Dignitas bringing it here on train. Obviously, the scoreline, 4-4, something you have to bear in mind, does look close. But FORZE have not been looking good with the rifles, which is somewhat problematic on your CT side of train.
Well, this is a huge gamble. A little pressure towards outside. And FORZE just say, you know what? We like these AKs. Gonna buy next. Stack up on B. Take a risk. Do not give Exist anything. If he wants to smoke down ramp and take a peep, then we'll punish him. But until then, show nothing. Exapower can be alone towards A. He'll work it with a Deagle. And Dignitas are right back to the book that works. A full-blown execute on this round is exactly what's required. Because, you know, the pistols and AK are going to be swinging wildly. No kit, no utility. Risks are their friend. Rewards are what they get in face crack. He gets 2 out of thin air, and here comes Lit through the smoke. The spray is on point. The op shot from Halzer's required. And this can get weird. Forced with only a Deagle. The head is peeled back. Exapower the same. And it's Halzerk alone with 18 seconds, and he's through Z. And you know where he's headed. It's to B.
Open plant for him. Just about has the time. If Exapower was a couple seconds faster, could have ended differently. But for now, silence. Just ticking of the bomb. Halzerk watching the flank. Waiting for the defuse to come in. Exapower clearing out the site so very easily. He's not going to be ready though. The timing is absolutely perfect for Halzerk. Oh, and he makes all the noise. He's just not expecting him in heaven. Why would he be here? The side of the site, it's perfectly played by Halzerk from the beginning of the clutch. Tasks, although close, maybe even closer than it ought to be, they're able to take it over the line and gain the lead.
What a really cool little clutch there required from Halzerk. You can see the troubles that Dignitas ran into. Both AKs nearly doubling in. If that Z smoke was properly flush and didn't allow FaceCrack to come out through Z, I think that might have been a miss smoke, or it didn't bloom the way they wanted. Round could have went completely different. And by that, I mean more comfortable for Dig. Not require that from Halzerk, but it works. They get it. And FORZE right back with weapons. I felt like they've almost had some sort of rifle every round, Scriv. With the saves here and there. And 4M4s, op on exit power. Always a promising sign when that's out, but get right. If he can get ladder control like this, FORZE are in some trouble. He just waltzes in. And he's walking out like he owns the whole map. Confidence.
Oh, Halzerk gonna lose that fight. Would have loved to see some utility there, Keith. Definitely gonna have job picking things back up. The job comes down to get right, though, like you say.
The bomb.
He's just prepped in, but yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't notice that actually. Halzerk peaks with the bomb with no utility. Oh, get right has to do everything. And he's kind of missing the opportunity. They're escaping him slightly. There you go. He jumps the gun at the first opportunity, and he has crept in. Almeza is caught completely off guard, and even then, I think the trade of information is just not fast enough. Get right knows the weight of this round is on his shoulders, and he will show it. Flip finds one, but cannot recover it back. After a beautiful opener, it just does not happen for them, and Get Right comes in with 3.
Yeah,
out of nowhere. Dignitas looking so much better.
How vintage is that? I mean, the timing to get down ladder, besting the ladder player with taking little to no damage, walking out is just pure confidence overflowing. I think his teammates get a little bit of a sense that there's a lack of nades and shots coming out towards outer yard, so they feel their pressure towards T-Con. Get right, here's the solo B player leave, and he just gets some great timing. And that is just so Get Right to pull around out of a hat like that. The pistols may claim the first here, but unless Dignitas make a few mistakes, it should be all theirs. Exit power, not gonna get cleared. That's an easy 1D for him. He's not hard pressed to find a second either. Forrest doesn't throw the smoke, or he did. It didn't seem like it on the screen, but he did get tossed. He'll go into heaven. No way that back green player suspects this. It seems like Forrest is just gonna try to clean this up for Dig. Looking like 7, but again, I'm holding my breath when I say that.
Maybe slightly hedging your bets. It does look good, though. The individuals coming alive here and winning the round out. Forest on high is too much to deal with. So, for a split second, you think FORZE might be able to steal it away, but it's just not going to be the case. However, one more kill here for Flit. Can be happy in terms of that financial damage. Look how low the money is for Dignitas. These rounds are coming close. They're not dominating massively, but they are continuing to string them together, which of course is affecting the scoreline. But in terms of an economic sense we're talking about here, it is somewhat unsure, let's say. Insecure, financially insecure, which is something that we all worry about, not just in Counter-Strike. It got a bit heavy there, but to stick to the game, Freiburg going for the plant. Flit can't really do anything to stop it, and eventually has to give his position up if he wants to do anything. I don't think... Yeah, no one's walking into his crosshair. So he either has to hold on to the 5-7 or make a move. Forrest, though, has come down the ladder, and I think Forrest is maybe going to spot him. Oh, hello?
4-3.
There we go. All right, he eventually comes into the FOV. All good. And that damage that I talked about now comes in. It's a little detrimental for Dignitas. Oh, and he saves an AK, maybe? Freiburg? Oh, Freiburg. Find the kill. Okay, good.
Boy.
Gonna die to the bomb?
Nah, no.
No, okay, yeah, had enough time. Still, though,
Close,
kind of
though.
a messy round from Dignitas.
Oh, 100%. And I think a perfect reflection is this, is just look at their money. It's round 12. They've won, I think, 3 rounds in a row. Could be losing my mind, but I think that's what we're on now. And that's the money they have. One of which was a pistol. The other, I think, was a half-ish buy. So these rounds have been close from FORZE. They've been keeping it competitive. The Dignitas cash yet to build on this T side, and that's vitally important to stringing rounds together. Without it, it's FORZE's chance to bounce back on the CT side. But 7 already on T side from Dig. That's prime. That's a strong CT side already. They've started to work FORZE in their default. They've brought out a couple pocket strats. And FORZE seemingly getting a bit skittish now, Scriv, as these rounds progress.
Wow, more pace, more pace. This is a little wild. Almaz's on high. He's able to find one. And it's not traded back yet, but like these fast B hits have been so effective from Dignitas so far. Will FORZE be able to answer back this time? That's the big question. Another kill coming in. As the numbers dwindle, I think it becomes a lot easier to push forwards. They have recovered this one back well. A hero required. Halter caught off guard by Almeza, who looks so good. That's a bit messy. But Get Right has now got to find 3 more. Certainly seems to be up to the task in some of these rounds. Okay, hold on.
They're not on it. No kid either. Oh, there's a kid. Excuse me, I'm flit. Can Get Right find the diffuser? Okay. I panicked for a short moment there for FORZE, but then I noticed the kid. Okay, so recovered. But if Get Right found that kill and that diffuser, that would have been way too close for comfort for them, Scriv. And that plant, it does push Dignitas to kind of this buy. Halzert can glass cannon up. Exist can drop an AK. Or vice versa. I think Exist is going to end up with a pistol here. He's that much of a homie. I think you want to get an AK on a Get Right or Forest. They've been doing really well. They admire Exist and they let him have the AK. Friends all around. Interesting, by the way, that this is a FORZE timeout, Scriv. They're the ones wanting to talk things through. And I feel like that round could have went completely different if Dig committed one more player to the aggression. Exist went alone, and then they just didn't get any control by the time rotates came in. And well, we all saw the result.
There's still a chance for FORZE, you know. Although 7 rounds is already really good on that T side. If FORZE can bring it as close as possible, it would be great. Particularly with the way that things turned so quickly for the worst. Dignitas with the rifles, super hot. This is a really important round for both teams, and they're going to dictate how the rest of this first half goes. Exist, eating the nade. Another fast B coming in, this time much more simplistic. Also not looking too effective. The bomb dropped in the fire. More damage coming in from Almeza. Halzerk's taken down Exapower. Meanwhile, Halzerk's found 2, actually. He's going nuts once again. Face crack pushing forwards to try and be the difference maker. It's just not going to happen. Get Right's Deagle is immaculate. Jerry, the only one left in a 1 versus 3. Does spot out the head of Exist quickly and able to just about dip away. But Get Right pushed all the way in. Again, doing what Get Right does. Getting behind you, being a nuisance, being annoying. Making Jerry second guess. So many angles to check. Oh, the timing absolutely perfect to drop Forest, though. The bomb's still down in no man's land, and Get Right is in behind him. He's ready for the fight, though, but he cannot win it. Get Right again, bailing them out, picks up the 8th. I talked about how important that round was, and that might just take them to double digits in this first half.
Yeah, I think it may just propel them. The Yop dropped by Almazer to Exapower. So the hero Op, we've seen this before for Exapower. Something they like to run, because if you can get the Op in Exapower's hands and give him a chance to steal around away, why wouldn't you? Now, if you can find the first pick against Dignitas with how well they're playing, that is another story. And keep an eye on number 5 on your minimap. He, I believe, just pushed T-Com with an op, so he's trying his best. Now, Mazer on Schools. That's a hard clear. They made sure to check it. He knew he was going to get checked. No way you get away with it on a round like this where Dig read the economy beautifully. And that's round in that scene. Exapower will try to save. And voila.
What do you know? The crystal ball? You whacked it out again? 5v3 though. And clean once again from Dignitas towards the tail end. Oh, he needs to live. He needs to live. Flash comes in. Gonna go for the peek. Actually hits 2. Smoke goes down. Boys, help! As he runs away. They won't be able to close him down in time, so all good. Another frag as well for face crack. Bits of extra kill bonus coming in. Almeza, is he going to get a drop? I think he does, right? From Exopower by the looks of things. Ooh, and AWP number 2 comes into play here at the tail end.
Yep.
Would have loved to see this earlier on. It's a bit of a shame we only get to see it for the 1 round, but all the same, if they can pick up the 6th and then put all their chips into the second half, I'm sure they'll be happy. It's still not a great result here from FORZE so far. But any round, you know, of course, is going to help them.
Yeah, you're right. This is typically a fallback strat, but it's something that Flint and Xpower have done in the past. It's a shame it took Dignitas to get 9 rounds on the T side for them to feel like they have to break this one out. And again, Exopower pushing T-Com with it up. Did this in the previous. Gonna do it once more. Freiburg finds the banana push, which means this kill from Xpower is critical. And he's not gonna get traded. Even allowed to drop a molly to slow down and break up this execute. Will the double up of Flint be able to find success as well? He's gonna make sure, but he's gonna make sure Freiburg cannot get up Ivy for free. It is unlocked with utility. And where do Dignitas group? Because things are getting a little awkward.
Proper test in this round, isn't it? Definitely can see that, although it's taken time, FORZE have managed to get a read on them in the end. Flick coming in with that secondary AWP. Might just seal the deal off the back of it. Connector smoke comes in. Ooh, tries to get aggressive, but Almeza is just set up. That's the one constant for me. Almeza is constantly... Of course, I've just set that up, but he's just looked so good on this B-bomb site. Freiburg trading back. Not all said and done just yet. Freiburg's still alive. Does get taken down by Xpower in the end. 1 too many, or 2 too many, as the case may be. And FORZE will get their 6th round on the board. But yeah, there's definitely some positives there. Flit having a great time. Particularly early on, I think, looked really, really good. Almeza on the B-bomb site found consistent frags. It just, in a lot of the rounds when they were, particularly early on with the fast, aggressive B strikes from Dignitas, it just wasn't enough. He was getting 1, even 2 fairly often, and it just wasn't quite enough. So there's definitely things there on the CT side, and I think this is going to be a really good learning process for FORZE. But surely with 9 rounds off your T side on train, Dignitas should be able to take it over the line and bring us to nuke. I am speaking a bit early, but I feel that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I can't help but feel the same. I think the live odds will support that from LoopBet. Bet live at loop.bet. Check them out in the banner below. They are an awesome partner of the events thus far. And this is going to be the end of week 6 if my memory serves, Scriv. We'll have a winner in either an hour or 2. Or, you know, here if FORZE can run it back. This pistol, less relevant based on the scoreline, but it's always nice to get these pistols. As mentioned, FORZE struggle when it comes to pistols on train. Well, Dignitas will be happy to take it off of their hands. Kit, nade, no smoke. Interesting choice for Exist to go for the nade instead of the smoke. And I don't believe Flint will be able to get much out of this. He's not even going to bother to walk out. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking doing that.
I think nerves really summing up the atmosphere here, Keith. Waiting for a minute. Utility comes in, get right, trying to block it ever so slightly, and well, it gives them a bit more room to work with there down that channel. Halso going to be the first one to chime in through the smoke. No frags returned as yet. Freiburg also looking good. The bomb plant not going to happen as they come off of it to try and find the kills, and it looks like that might just be the correct call, at least in the moment. The round itself still up in the air. Boris creeping in. Oh, misses the timing ever so slightly. He's got the information in though, surely, and I think they know they've dropped the bomb. They're not together on this CT side. They are in prime position to shut things down. Exist with the nade surely throws us over the top to do a bit of chip damage. You're not going to look to jump the gun too early. Jerry's in with the fake. Exist is creeping around. They're trying to group up. They're trying to do their best to work together here on the CT side of things. FORZE got to win that fight. He misses the opportunity. The up-close USP comes out on top for Exist, and FORZE does eventually take his man. So, 10th round for Dignitas. Pistol opening up. The weakness of the pistols of FORZE actually coming true in the second half. Does come close. They do get the bomb plant, but Dignitas keeping FORZE at arm's length, not gonna have to stomach a few rounds off the back of the pistols. So it's a nice opener. It's a nice result for them into the second half for sure.
They break out. I think it's a lone AK, double Galil, Flint probably pistol. I think he has a Glock, so I hope. Yeah, there's a gun on the floor. I was gonna say they better give him something for that investment of the armor. Double AK, double Galil, scout for extra power. Don't hate it, quite enjoy it. And it's aggression from DIGNITAS. Halzerk waiting for this peek to come in from Jerry. The dink and the cleanup. Beautifully done from Halzerk. No op, the FAMAS. First pick either way. He's been having a bit of a series, I'd say.
Power. Trying. This is the opportunity there. I mean, it was a hard flick to be landing, but all the same. Need something to open up here. FORZE. The force buy, I mean, it makes sense. Don't get me wrong, but like, you can very quickly check out of this game if this does not work for them. The flank is coming in, so they're on a timer, and an invisible timer. We'll find one. They managed to push forwards. Trades coming in thick and fast. Exist does not fall, though. He will eventually. Halzerk on the back end. This is the difference maker. He drops the bomb. Not quite able to find the second, but surely sets it up. He does indeed. It's close, but Dignitas again take it over the line. Breadsticks are in, as they will have themselves a 5-round lead, and perhaps a 6 off the back of it as well. FORZE certainly struggling here.
Yeah, they're starting to just miss the mark slightly on these rifle rounds. Getting bested by FAMASes and such that round. And they seem to be just not clicking as a unit like they were on Inferno. It's looking like the Dignitas show really wanting to get to that nuke. And if we need it, I'm hyping it up, but I'm telling you, it's going to be one hell of a map. You just get that feeling, and when you know, you know. And get right in ladder. It's going to be his position. And as I said, take note of the Dignitas aggression scriv. And so far, they're doing exactly as I thought.
Really well set up for this, I think. We'll see. I feel the primary goal is to just get the bomb down, which they're going to achieve that. Lots of damage done through the smoke here. No frags as yet. I mean, the flank is somewhat nullified when the team is at full strength and when they're also all pushing forwards pretty much. However, through the smokes, able to soften them up and eventually finish them off. It'll all be down to Flit. They find one in all the chaos, but it's the CT side to come out on top of things. That's a nice pickup from Flit, meanwhile. You know exactly where he is. What does he go for here? Defuse is coming in. Yeah, he knows he can't stop it. They are trained on him. He's trying to take another name here. It's just not going to happen. So Dignitas get the 12th. Bit of damage done. Bomb plant. You could be happy with that. I think that's the ultimate goal with a half buy of that caliber from FORZE. It now comes down to the first rifle round. This is where they need to get around on the board. I think Dignitas could very quickly clean the game up and take us to nuke if they're able to win this one. So a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure coming into round number 19 for FORZE. Definitely.
No pressure, but this is the big one for us. Extra power delivers on the first. Of course he does. There's that aggression still from Dig. In ladder, unspotted the whole way through is Get Right. Jerry's hopeful that his timing is prime as Extra power will pick his second out of the round. Gives room for Flit to work with. Get Right out of ladder. Strikes for the first. Does not know that ladder can be conceded, but is considering the option. His head is on a swivel, but Almazer's timing is better. And with FORZE being alone, it looks like FORZE have jumped up to 7 now, Scriv.
Hey, don't be writing him off just yet. Smoke comes in. Not able to find anything, might just hightail it and go to save. Relatively good stuff from FORZE then. Pressure on. And they perform under it. That's the name of that round. I mentioned it at the beginning. It's still pretty damn high towards the end as well. Not like they have any kind of rumor advantage to work with off the back of it. It is just kind of keeping them alive ultimately. So we'll see here. We'll see. Dignitas, the money not looking too good. I'm unsure what they ought to go for. I think there's an argument for both. I think there is an argument for both the save and the force. You've got a lot of rounds. It's still not going to be a fantastic buy going into the next, even if you do save, right? They'll only have the 1900 coming in. You kind of have to double eco anyway, I think. Or like eco this one and light pistols in the next, unless they're just desperate to get rifles out, which again is another argument. Yeah, okay. I like this. I like this. They have a lot of rounds to work with. A map like Train actually hands itself brilliantly to force buys like this. You know, the Deagles and the Scout work so well together. Lots of long channels, or lanes as they are in some regions known as. Meanwhile, Forrest on the M4 could look to use his automatic weaponry to great effect. Halzer, it's a riskier round. Goes wide early on. Tries to find something. Just not going to happen. But maybe would have liked to see a bit more of a well thought out movement from Dignitas, at least in the early stages.
Yeah, just looking for the duels. They're about to try to double peek into Ivy. Extra power will tag, misses the shot. Good thing Almazer's here to back him up. And Almazer will support through and through. While Face Crack will come out of ladder, start the swing onto the site. Forrest, how much more effect can he really have with his M4? Hang on. With extra power weak, can FORZE continue this kill spree? The ladder flank from Exist is about to be figured out. This can get awkward. Get right might fall, but can Flit clean it up? He can. They're so weak for Forrest. He's gonna come through on the smoke. It's his only play. Can he land the headshot? He's dancing around the site. Who will peek him? Who's going to be the first? And it's extra power to go to the back lanes. That is actually such a wise and smart play. No way Forrest would be prepared for that. And Dignitas halted at 12. FORZE have built that T-side bank, Scriv, at the right time. It gives them some cushion. It gives them some fallback. And more importantly, it allows them to make mistakes, which is FORZE's team does on Train. And the fact that they have that bounce back, that buy in the next, so they can recover and move forward from it, is so perfect.
Technical pause coming in. We do have a bit of time to mull things over, as to the players. Yep, it is closing, Keith. Not quickly. The Dignitas not taking any chances. I don't know, man. I just think FORZE as a squad, especially when they're on their A game and when they're playing their best game and when they are fully focused, T-side seems to be a lot better from them. They just play that simple, fundamental Counter-Strike, but to a really high level. Few executes and whatnot dotted in there, but they do like to move together, move aggressive, and move fast, ultimately, like a ball, you know? The death ball, I guess. You know,
yeah,
we see some early smokes
The
here.
Simpsons.
I know The Simpsons, but I don't know
okay.
The Simpsons.
Homer had a bike, went into that round, the fenced off ball.
Oh, the Thunderdome. That's from Mad Max, my guy.
No. Homer did it as well.
Reference of a reference. So like,
yeah, well, it's a lot cooler when Homer
who
does
has
it,
the
though.
deeper reference game there? You know what I mean?
I feel like I went an extra rabbit hole. There's not much going on in this round, so we're allowed to make fun of it. And see you later, face crack. FORZE with a deagle. The SMGs get shut down. They're not allowed to make any more money. I don't think Get Right really wants that Mac 10, but it's what you got. Dignitas will, I believe, get up out from FORZE in the next. Halzerk will drop in response. They'll make a trade. Not quite equal. Look at the FORZE is a nice guy, so Halzerk can't complain. And again, money continuing to be built from FORZE side. 3 alive, builds that cash. You just have to drop face crack and Jerry. Not a big deal. Dignitas are gonna have to get 2 in a row to break that money, if not maybe even a third. That's a lot of cash, but I think, yeah, 2 is the right answer.
Halzerk's lucky Zeus, man. Comes in again in that round, by the way. Remember yesterday, he survived like 6 rounds with the Zeus, or whatever. It's pretty funny. Because the way the HUD works, folks, like, it really, and they all, like a lot of them do across the board, they really focus on those Zeuses. It looks kind of funky. Ain't no Zeus coming into this round, though. He does have that big green gun, meanwhile, which is arguably more dangerous. I think there's definitely an argument to say that's a more effective weapon. Ooh, Freiberg jumping over the smoke. Flit knows where he's at. This could be deadly. Oh my goodness. Freiberg
Will it, though?
Flashing in. Get Right able to find the first, and Freiberg is somewhat distracted, but Flit is crept in. He finds 2. Third? No. Freiberg's actually the one to stop him. I thought he was going to be the main target. Meanwhile, Exist doing a bit of creeping of his own brings it down to a 2-on-2.
Minute on the clock. Forced up on the site. He's rotated his way in onto this site with the help of Exist, who was a bit of a distraction. What a crosshair placement from FORZE. Will not expect Jerry to be back site. Now Jerry has to play the game of did Exist go through ladder and go back through B. Jerry doesn't want to believe it because that'd be so unreal for Exist to do, and Exist will post and pop him. I cannot believe Exist just did that. Out through Z, up ladder, back through B. Brilliant.
Do I give Exist credit there to say that he stepped on purpose?
When?
Because if he did, it's like, so in that little exchange, like Jerry checked the angle and then was going to go back, and then Exist stepped. And that's why he turned around and took the fight. I'm not
sure on that. I won't comment on things I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. But I'd love to think that he did, because he got into position, like, perfectly. You know what I mean? And was able to drop him instantly.
He thought he could catch him rotating or catch him with his back turn. Yeah, maybe. Could be.
Because it was a pretty smart round overall from Exist.
The safest play is always planting the bomb, however. But, hey, I'd like to think that Exist is that big-brained.
Oh, yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Definitely smart for him to come down pop dog, you know, like we both say, comes down pop dog, finds a frag, goes back round. Like that. Yep. That's a smart move that he's definitely done intentionally.
Really cool.
And makes a big difference. It's a huge round for Dignitas to be picking up. I think if FORZE win that one, obviously they bring it within 2, but they also continue to hold on to the control element of this second half, whereas Dignitas, although close, keeping it just about in their favor with that round.
This buy is anything but in their favor, however. Pressure on the rifles and in Halzerk. Get Right, Freiberg, Forest, all out of utility in a minute 15 on train, a very utility-heavy map. What does this mean? Well, gambles will have to be taken from Dig, and that's exactly what they're doing. The B gamble, although it's not paying off right now with FORZE doing a straight-up execute, if Freiberg can get 1 and Exist flank once again, will find success. It can still be their round. Bomb is just getting out of T-Con, so plenty of time for them to work with. Jerry's going to hold hard ladder this time. Exist is going to T-Con.
Oh, no.
Without Get Right getting that kill, that's round. I'm pretty sure. Unless Halzerk gets another freebie, it's just going to be a save from Dig, unfortunately. I'm maybe jumping the gun and saying so, however.
Yeah, I kind of feel where you're coming from, right? And they're so savvy to the flank this time around, although Exapower going to look away at the wrong time. Exist might get the drop on him. Exapower turns back, ready for the fight. Spots the gun barrel there, I think. Gets himself into the perfect position, but the bullet misses by a millimeter. It's all good. It's all good. The site players are able to find their frags. And Exist will be able to escape. He does take an AWP with him. Dignitas dropped the round. Double digits hit by FORZE. Keeping within 3, which is kind of the area, the realm that they've been in throughout this second half. Is that 3 rounds deficit. But of course, what's important, what makes Counter-Strike unique? The money, baby. And Dignitas don't have any. They're not quite as confident with saying the word money. It's a bit of taste in their mouth right now. They will have to hard eco this one out. Exist, the best case scenario is for him to... Well, best case scenario is for him to, like, kill everybody. But I feel the realistic scenario is to save again.
Is that he kills everybody? Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you're probably... Your realistic is a bit better than my realistic. That is for sure. Unless you're a Dig fan, then my realistic is the go-to. He did go for a B pick, and with nothing, it's hard to rotate with it up towards the site that's already being taken. Utility being tossed onto the site. These pistols will be thrown into a world of hurt, tossed into the blender, and just mincemeated. Bomb will go down. That'll just be that. Exist will start backing up after that shot, and it's going to be 13-11. Dignitas will have a bye next. Exist really wants to save this up. I'm going to go on a limb and say he won't, purely based on Jerry's timing and positioning, plus the fact that it's a player coming ramp. I'm sorry, Exist, your days are simply just numbered. And again, they still have to get through the FORZE cache, which they've rebuilt from the ground up. Not that long ago, they didn't have the best of buys, and now they've built it back up. Dignitas have been halted. And because Exist falls, it's going to be an Oplus buy from Dig. I'm going to be going on a limb here. Would not be surprised if they half buy. I love this. Oh, they're reading my mind to a T. We're on the same wavelength. This either tells me one of two things. They wanted more utility for T-side train, and they're going to play into ladder and E-box like they have been, which is going to work eventually. You just have to win the opening duel. Or they want the double op-out. Either way, really, really smart from Dig. No reason to pressure this. You'll still have a round advantage after this, Scriv. Brilliant play from Dig, but FORZE, you cannot talk down to the run it back they've been going through.
Yeah, man, the excitement coming in. And again, this read into the T side from them is fantastic. They just look so good on the T side. But similar to yourself, I'm a big fan. Dignitas taking that risk-free approach. Only the one frag coming through. Get Right was hoping to, you know, maybe catch them with utility. It's definitely not a bad idea on the CZ, rushing in. The Pop Dog windows, I think, had been shot through, so kind of makes sense. But other than that, we've not seen an awful lot. It's been a slow round since then. With the Deagles just posted up, a nice little 3-man setup where Halzert can see 2 areas. He can help his teammates out in those areas. So it's smart in and of itself, but we'll see how effective it is. Exapower playing contact, back turn, does actually take down Halzert there. Freiburg and Exist coming in with the Deagles. Oh, goodness. Let's relax. It's getting a bit fast, getting a bit speedy, but they do find the trades back. It's all going to be up to Forest, and he can't get it done. I did for a second there see 1v1s being taken by FORZE, which is not the best way to approach pistols. I have to be honest, but they win those 1v1s. Their confidence, it does pay off. This is it, though. This is it. Dignitas, their lead under threat massively, and the game as well, and the series, therefore, under threat if they lose this.
Yeah, they like to go full utility, and that's what they wanted. Full utility and kits. Give themselves the best chance to just pull this over the line. And it all comes down to this first pick. Was it worth it for Halzert? Yes, sir. It's been like that through Inferno and into Train. When he has the op, he typically delivers. And Get Right wrap right back into that ladder position with support from Freiburg towards outside. I told you aggression in ladder side in E-box is their thing. And with an opening pick from Halzert, they can keep Exist in B. This is exactly what Dignitas had in mind, and it's starting to come into picture.
No response just yet. Utility over the top. They're going to follow up on it as well. Halzerk watching Heaven. They drop down. He misses them, but they kind of land on top of each other, and that is so very awkward. Exist, meanwhile, the player at Sidewalk, able to shut things down from there also. 5-on-2. Halzerk is low. Oh, Exist with a great angle, able to just completely shut them down. Get Right was on the backside to fully secure the fact. Wow. Dignitas, that is perfection. That is such a great round in a lot of different ways. Positionally, individually, you know, Halzerk hitting his shots and whatnot, not making mincemeat of any of those opportunities. FORZE just rolled over. Like, just nothing they could do there at all.
That bank effect starting to come into play. The rebuy with the op from FORZE. Face crack, jumping out. Gonna get to Olaf. No molly to hamper him. He's gonna be so quick. And you know he's gonna creep through the smoke if nothing happens. For now, he'll sit and wait. Halzerk gets one and is able to escape. That can make the difference in this early round. Face crack pressured. Needs a kill. FORZE will spam him down. And it's the Dignitas we know on this defense. A great nade and kill as Exapower creeps and they leave it open. They ignore Ivy. Halzerk was dead set on only one being there. And that mistake may cost him the round, Scriv.
It's ironic in a way. The exact same thing that he did happens to him. He walked out because there was no utility. FORZE get caught off. And Exapower's like, that's not a bad idea, you know? Think I'll wait a second or two and do the same to him. Perfect stuff. 3-on-2. FORZE, highly important round for them. They look set to pull it back. Forest out in the open. Spots the player on high. Can't find the fight. I think he was kind of dead to rights there. The burst from Pop Dog would have been enough to trade him. Exist is mollied off. And I would look to say if he's got the most money, Halzerk doesn't quite have enough to buy up. He does find the head of Flip. Cost him 50 HP. I don't know, man. Like, it could happen, but I feel like just making the safest play, making that 100% play rather than going for the 50-50, particularly in a 1 versus 2 on the outside bomb site of Train, is the better choice. But he's going to continue going for it, and there it is, the crack angle. Exapower, even with the X-ray, it's so hard to spot him out. And Exist will drop. I don't know, man. He's got enough to buy, but imagine he keeps his AK. He drops an AWP here. He's going to drop an AWP anyway, but like it's not as comfortable for the parties involved. Halzerk's got no utility.
Yeah, and that's kind of it, right? Halzerk wouldn't have to have dropped him if Exist lived, which would allow both parties to get close to full utility. So it's going to be a full buy again. We'll continue the pattern of buying and rounds and rifle rounds. That's what makes this new economy so exciting, is the amount of buys you get out of it. It has its downfalls, but it sure delivers with a few more rifle rounds. And with Exapower having the op, FORZE can do one of two things. Try to facilitate that opening pick. Maybe set up face crack to get out aggressive early. He got shut down for it last time. Now Mazer has the far forward spawn. Maybe he'll do a quick ladder pop. FORZE are making Dignitas sweat. But you know Halzerk, he's comfortable when that big green gun is in his hands.
Seems to be the only time that he's comfortable. So yeah, they definitely need him to have it, and they need him to pop off. Ooh, Jerry drops down, finds Get Right, and he's back up instantly. That's beautiful. I mean, Get Right was ready, you know, the nade drops. He's like, I have seen this one a million times, but he just does not find the shots fast enough. He does objectively find them, but just not fast enough. So unfortunate. I'm going to make all the difference. FORZE, it's a very early opener, although not super clean. Give him the advantage. Love this, though. Bit of a response from Dignitas. It is answered back. Flit able to push them out. But at the same time, it's a great idea. Ooh.
Yeah, right Flit, when they needed something.
He wants to peak, man. Like, just he's really...
I mean, it's not the worst idea. You know? It's not the worst idea, considering he is in a default, but he's also the bomb guy. So it seems like they're going to leave Almazer. He'll drop his Ivy utility, right? He has the full set, as you can see in the bottom, in close bottom left corner. He'll do the Ivy smoke. He'll reassert the Molly. Flit's able to catch Exist. That doesn't have a lot of tell in it. But Freiburg hearing these sound cues, that's the tell. This Ivy push is simply just alert to kill from behind at this point. And that's exactly what Freiburg's doing too. And Freiburg will creep. His teammates do their best to hold on. Well, FORZE found Almazer. That means it's a true 3v2. But a turnaround from Flit. He says no to Freiburg, who had the timing and everything right. But it's FORZE to pull it out. The opening pick, the default worked. And that is, again, another heartbreak for Dig. A 5v3, and now this, right when you thought they had it. They had the flank. They tried to get aggressive and work a pick, but FORZE are just not giving a thing up.
They are tight. Jerry is keeping the troops together in more ways than one. Full 30 required. It's either overtime or one of these teams to take it over the line. What's the call from Dignitas coming into this? Another half buy would be lovely to see, but these are the types of rounds where you make the big decisions. FORZE as well. Another timeout. Great to see. You know, cool, calm, and collected. Not taking any risks themselves, both within the rounds, before the rounds. So many timeouts. I mean, I think it comes down to more than just winning Malta vibes for FORZE. I think it does come down to, you know, taking some big names. If they can clean them up in a 2-0 on one of their worst maps, although close, they would be really happy. And again, a lot to learn from this series already. And of course, $25,000 plus a nice little boot camp in Malta is not the worst result. Not the worst. I believe
there's $10,000 difference in prize, right?
I think so.
Top of my head. Yeah. So that's quite a difference. And FORZE looking to close this one out. This will be 15 unless Freiburg's Deagle. Or Halzerts can sing a song. Well, traded from FORZE, but they don't need trades. They needed to get this clean and get on this site. Because Dignitas, they want you to chase. Feel comfortable that it's just a Deagle and give them that head angle. Give them that one more kill. And we're slowly snapping back into reality. As FORZE slow everything down, they immediately pull that e-brake and just let Jerry work, which is the right call. But he just can't get caught off, can he?
Ooh, key fight to be winning. That might just turn things around. Forrest is going to have to be the hero here. He can't find the headshot. So unfortunate. Was looking for it, but a few inches away. It looks like they will have weathered the storm and at the very least secured the overtime. Unless, I mean, Exist has been in behind them and a massive thorn in their side in a lot of these rounds, so wouldn't quite write him off just yet. I think he's kind of written himself off, though, with the bomb going down. This is a much more passive approach. He's just looking for the one, for an exit. It's not going to come, though. So yeah, overtime at the very least for Dignitas if they are to take us to that third map. This is really surprising. I think the way that the series was set up, as we were both saying at the beginning, although opposite teams in terms of our predictions, it was set up for 3. It was set up in a sense that FORZE win theirs, Dignitas win theirs, a nuke is the true battle, right?
Yeah.
That's very much what we felt, and I think
barring
fans
this,
and
though, right?
watchers alike. But yeah, this is definitely not a train of all the maps. I think was the clearer cut. So this is really surprising.
Yeah.
This is massive from FORZE.
I did feel Inferno would be close. I thought Train wouldn't be as this close. Yeah. And I felt like Nuke would be, again, another barn burner. But wow. At least Dignitas have budgeted for a full buy. You don't want to go down with a pistol or UMP and feel kind of meh about how the game ended. If you're going to go down, you're going to go down with full rifles and op on your star player who's having a game at 23 and 25. He himself plays aggressive, plays forward. Not many saving opportunities for Halzerk, so he is no surprise to me that he has 25 deaths and 23 kills. And with his spawn, he's looking to go in towards the pick towards upper B. And why do I have a feeling this is a round FORZE don't pull it at default? This is the round they go pedal to the metal. They've secured OT, and they want to catch Dignitas flat-footed. I just have a weird feeling that's it.
Maybe. They're charging towards B. So possible. Ooh, early fight gonna happen here. Exit Power wins it. And that's the signal.
Wow.
Right, that's the move. That's the bounce. They were kind of chilling and looking to set up and execute, but with an early frag coming in like that, they cannot resist this opportunity. Charging in, keeping them at bay. He was the only one as well. An advanced position. He needed to find a frag, and they know it. Exist going to go down through the smoke. Face crack is this nuisance right now. A great smoke. I think he just sees under it. He's able to drop get right as well. Pushes forwards to gain a bit of information. Sure gives his life away, but surely it's done enough. Freiburg has a second, though. Oh, Exopower going to take him down. I saw in my mind's eye Freiburg having one of those insane rounds that he is known for.
Wow.
It's not going to happen for them, though, Keith. Oh, my goodness. FORZE on one of their weakest maps. Steal it away from Dignitas. 16-14. They have done it. They win 2-0. Oh, my. I'm blown away. I am so speechless.